Philly Fingers here, going over a 9-ball break and run. I'll also be going over the moments when you have to switch from your original plan A to a plan B. As usual, I'll be breaking from inside the box and complying with the 3-point rule. Obviously, when we break, our goal is to pocket a ball and then run out. But how can we do that? Since we simply can't just jump into autopilot and run every ball, as you see here as I fast forward the footage, we have to take our time and think about the whole process. So let's go back and start at the beginning. When I break, my goal is just to pocket a ball, comply with the 3-point rule, and make sure I land at the center of the table where I can see my next ball. It's at this point when you start to visualize your plan A, that initial plan for where you're going to pocket every single ball. As we look at the 1 ball, we know what pocket it will go into. The real question is, how do we maneuver that cue ball in order to get closer to the 2 ball for our next shot? So we start thinking, can we go forward and go 2 rails? Probably not, because we'll bump into the 5. If I draw back, I may run the risk of being blocked by the 7. So in this case, my preferred option is just to hit center ball with just a touch of right, so that I can bounce off the rail and head towards my target area. I can now shoot the 2 in the bottom left corner pocket. The question is, how do I get position on the 4? Do I draw back? Well, if I do, and I come up short, I'll be blocked by the 7 again. I'm also trying to take the path of least resistance. I don't want to have to travel the cue ball 2 or 3 rails and come around the table if I don't have to. So instead, I'll just roll forward a little bit, making sure that I'll clear the 7 and have a clear path at that 4. Not only do I have a clear shot at the 4, but I'm also on the proper side of the shot line. Now when I shoot the 4 ball, I'm aiming and heading in the proper direction towards the 5 and not towards the 6. As I land on the rail, here we have our first example of having to switch to a plan B. Plan A would have been to hit the rail and bounce back out so that I can hit the 5 very easily. But being on the rail, I'm going to have to change my plan. Now I don't want to try to hold this ball up because it's really hard to do that and I may fall behind the 8. Now I don't want to draw and overpower the shot because I can still run the risk of hitting the 8, plus that angle doesn't lead itself to the 6 naturally. I will still shoot the 5 in the same pocket, but in order to get position on the 6, I'll have to hit with a little bit of top and come around 2 rails around the 8 and follow the shot line towards the 6. I now have a shot at the 6 ball in the bottom right corner pocket. I also have enough angle so that when I make the 6, I can come off 2 rails back out to the center of the table and play the 7 ball in the left side pocket. I would never want to draw and risk scratching into the side pocket, nor would I want to do extreme follow and try to come around 2 rails because I could get stuck behind the 9. As I hit the 6, I misjudged it and hit the 7 by mistake. So now it's time for another plan B. In this case, my plan B will be to play the 7 in the top right corner pocket. I could play the 7 in the side, but then that would force the cue ball to the left. I'd have to bounce off of a rail, possibly 2, and it's a lot more effort than it's worth. Knowing the 7 goes in the top right corner pocket is simple enough. The next challenge is, where do I want the cue ball to go? I know I wanted to go forward, but I also wanted to go forward and stay to the right of the shot line so that when I make the 8 ball in the top left corner pocket, I can come around for the 9. Had I come up short and stayed to the left of the shot line, I would then need another plan B and have to come off either 1 rail or possibly 3 rails to get back to the 9. Looking at the 8, I achieved my goal and I am on the right side of the shot line. So this now enables me to not just draw, but draw with some left so I can come off the rail and head towards the 9 ball. I wouldn't have been able to do this had I landed on the opposite side of the shot line or straight in on the 8. And for my final shot, I have a relatively simple 9 ball in the corner pocket. I have just enough angle so that I can let the cue ball hit the rail and there's no fear of scratching. And this will complete the break and run. That's my take on how you switch from plan A to plan B during a rack. Till next time.